just before I go on and on with the rest of these YouTube episodes. Pigeons. Oh, the cat. Get out of here. Up the fence. We've got a black cat. It's after our chickens. And it just made the pigeons scatter. What makes the pigeons make that little squeaky sound as they take off? I always notice that. I have no idea. It's almost like the effort of flapping. Is it, there's a little musical tune that they play as they take off, and I don't know if it's the effort of flapping that makes their, pushes wind past their vocal cords, or whether it's actually their wings that are playing that tune, but there's a brrr, as they take off. But we've got this evil black cat, beautiful, and it's stalking our chickens, our silkies. Every day I get a black cat walking across my path. That reminds me of Joan Armour Trading. Not because she's black, like the cat, but for another reason altogether. Actually, her blackness is absolutely irrelevant. I forgot she was black, actually, until I just mentioned that. I've fallen deeply in connection with Joan Armour Trading. I've been listening to nobody else for about a week. I think I might have even fallen in love. She's teaching me how to feel. But the reason that black cat reminded me of Joan Armour Trading, because, being a black cat walking past me, for some people that's superstitious. And Joan Armour Trading's got a song, I'm Lucky. And the song pretty much goes, I'm lucky, I can walk under ladders, I'm lucky, I can have a black cat walk in front of me and it doesn't affect me. And I made this point in one of my episodes too. I've got something in common with Joan Armour Trading on that front, because I challenged God recently in another episode to take me away that night as I slept. And I said, you've got nothing, God. You show me you've got something, God. You've got nothing. You can't even take me away. And lo and behold, I woke up. And even if he had taken me away, he wouldn't have proved anything to himself anyway, because I would have been gone and I wouldn't even know it. And then, just for good measure, I challenged the devil. And this is a form of walking under ladders. It's really important. It's something you should do. Now, otherwise you're a slave to superstition, as Stevie Wonder might have put it. But it's actually a really important point, and this is not why I've fallen in love with Joan Armour Trading. The fact that we are both lucky because we have risen above superstition. I assume that's what that song means. I'm lucky, she says, because I can walk under ladders. And I love that song. I love everything that Joan Armour Trading does because I'm deeply in love. Well, I'm deeply in connection anyway. She wouldn't go after me. She's got a girlfriend already. But she's teaching me how to feel, Joan Armour Trading, through her songs. I really am. I'm taking, and which songs? All of them. I'm going through her back catalogue. You can do that now that we've got the internet. It would have taken me months to save up for her records back in the day, but now it's all on Spotify. Family account. Anyway, so Joan Armour Trading is teaching me how to feel. she rises above it all, not just superstition. She's singing about what I've been talking about. It's very personal what she's talking about. She's talking about having a connection. All her songs pretty much are about her having a connection with the real someone else. You know, she's rising way above her background, her race, colour, creed, her identity group, the fact that she's British, you know, British West Indian, as she is, and all this sort of stuff. She's rising all the way over her. She's rising above her gender. She's rising above everything, above her gender identity even. She's rising above absolutely the fact that she's a woman. I don't know what she's rising above, but she's rising above it. And she's making a connection with someone. She's speaking about someone. It's usually about someone. Now, the interesting thing is that someone she's writing about, you know, she's got a song, I Love the Way You Are. Now, she might be talking about her girlfriend, but she might also be talking about herself. She's one of those, you know, with rock and roll and pop, sometimes who you say you're talking about is not who you're talking about. Look, it's art, you know. But she is getting in touch with the real person deeply, you know, beyond words. And this is why it would be great to be a musician, because you can do that via music. It's not about just the words she's saying, you know. That's just a vehicle. What was I talking about when I started this episode? I actually forget. I wasn't going to talk about Joan Armatrading especially. It's just that I'm in love with her. So it has ended up being about her. I wish I could rewind this and find out what I was talking about at the start. But no idea. Having said that, because I don't know what I was talking about, it was something about an endless stream of YouTube episodes. I remember saying something about that. Not YouTube. YouTube episodes. I almost forgot because I used to do podcasts, you know. And I was saying, these aren't for you, they're for me. Did I say that? If I didn't, I had it on my mind. Now, I've just done 2 episodes prior to this one. Whatever I was talking about, I'm going to talk about this. And I called them Skit 1 and Skit 2, for want of better titles. And they were for me too, and not for you. Now, but the thing I would like you to do for me is, one day when I've got Alzheimer's, one day when I've got Alzheimer's, you know, and I'm a vegetable, and the real me has actually died, or partly died, who are you, Charlie? You know, but when I'm, you know, not me anymore, when my mind is, you know, when I'm getting mental blanks, and I got a mental blank just before, maybe I'm on my way. But when I do get, you know, when I go into one great big mental blank, when I'm old, you are old, Charlie. That's what I would have told myself when I was 20. But what can I say? I honestly think I'm prettier now than when I was 20. I could be joking, but I'm not actually. When I'm old and I'm in a nursing home, dying of coronavirus or something, don't put me in a nursing home. Just shoot me. If COVID-19 is still going on, by the time I get to 99, 110, I reckon I'll still be good till I'm 110, you know, brain-wise, because I'm firing on all cylinders. But when I get to 120, don't put me in a nursing home, just put a bullet in it, you know, and I'll have a smile on my face, a slight look of shock at the last instant, but, you know, but just put a bullet in my head. I don't even like fish fingers. Do you know there are people who run nursing homes? I'm actually in a certain business in my life, so I know things. I'm in health, disability, and all that stuff, And justice. I'm in justice, I'm vaguely in those sort of areas, and don't put, forget about the nursing homes, because you can get someone and they can be really, people are making money off nursing homes. And they're driving around in flash cars and all that sort of stuff, and they're whinging, because the price of feeding the old people has gone up from $4.12 as a unit price to $4.14. And they're in big meetings and they're saying, you've got to get the price down to $4.12. I can't afford this $4.14 bullshit. Petrol costs money. 98%, the good petrol, for my Jag. Anyway, what was I talking? Oh yeah, when I'm old, and my brain is no longer firing on all of its 12 cylinders, because my brain is a V12. Can you play the previous 2 episodes that I just made to me? They're not for you, they're for me. But can you play them back to me? Just put them in front of me and just, and I'll just say, my God, you used to fire on all cylinders, Charlie. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But I wouldn't mind having a look back at those. At that point in time I get to in my life when my brain has gone to mush, just like my peas that they've mushed up for me in the nursing home because they put me in there anyway, even though I didn't want to go in there. Give me more fish fingers, bitch. Oh, excuse me. Actually, when I'm 110, I'm just going to say stuff like that. Hey, bitch. And I'm talking to that bloke over there, the nurse. Bring me an extra fish finger. This is going to sound terrible what I'm going to say next, but power. You can exert power. Or I'm going to shit myself. That's terrible. But that's what you can do, You can exert power. And you'll have to clean me up, because I've lost control of my hands. So get me another fish finger, bitch. And then he comes and whispers in my ear, I'm the only one on duty, and I'm not going to clean you up for the next 8 hours. Shit. Well, I didn't even shit myself anyway. You did, didn't you? Yeah, I did. Damn. But when I'm old, can I please have another fish finger? Can you please take me somewhere? Can you throw me in the bath? Can you put me up against the wall and hose me down, please? Oh dear. Anyway, but when I am old, I'll play back Skit 1 and Skit 2 back there. Sorry that this episode's a little bit distasteful, compared to my usual high standard. But, I just did 2 episodes just now, and they were called Skit 1 and Skit 2. I might as well call this Skit 3, because I've cracked a few jokes already, accidentally. But play those other 2 episodes to me. Don't play them to yourself. I don't want you to go back and listen to them. I don't even want you to listen to this. These are all for me. Because I want to be reminded of a time when I had swagger. It's actually a really good feeling when your brain is firing on all cylinders. Because my head is popping at the moment, at this stage in my life. I'm thinking fast, I'm talking fast, as fast as I want to anyway. And I don't even know if I'm making sense, but the point is my synapses are popping. I may be speaking a whole lot of rubbish in these episodes that I'm making, but what I do know is I feel alive. I feel so real. I feel irrelevant. But now what I'm getting at is, in the previous 2 episodes, I know one thing. I may have been speaking a lot of crap. Yeah. However, I felt alive. Yeah, and I felt like my brain was firing. Even if it was firing in a very bad way, and talking a whole lot of garbage, at least my brain was alive. I feel so alive. I feel so real. When I'm making these episodes, and I enjoy them. That's why I'm making so many. They're just fun. Do you know it's fun being alive? It really is, and it's fun. It's just fun when you're awake. Yeah, not woke. Woke. When you're woke, that normally you're just parroting what other people are thinking and all that sort of stuff. When you're woke, I mean, it's nice and it's good, but it's a bit boring. But when you're awake, when you've had a good sleep, when you get a good sleep every night, as I do, because I sleep the sleep of the just. When you're awake and your brain is alive and firing, and you're even in lockdown, but you're loving life and all that sort of stuff, and I've been looking at the sky and all that, and it's so blue. Except for the white bits, the clouds. But they're even nice, because they're really white. It actually is beautiful. But it's a wonderful feeling. I get it when I'm jogging sometimes. I don't jog as much as I should. It's a lockdown thing. But even before then, I wasn't jogging as much as I should. But sometimes when I'm jogging, suddenly I just get this little burst of energy. And I feel like sprinting and jumping over things. Park benches and things like that. And you do. It's crazy. Even at 57, which is how old I am, sometimes I'm jogging, just jogging around, just moving along, and suddenly, I feel like Superman. I know this sounds crazy, but suddenly you get this, I feel strong, and you feel fast, and you sprint for a while, and then you go, you're nearly dead. But it's just this, you get a surge. I don't know what it is. Is it adrenaline or something? But you get, something kicks in and you just, da-da-da, ba-da-da. I know this is sounding stupid, but it's not for you. It's for me. Play this one back to me too, so I can remember a time when I was truly alive and not sitting here in my own shit through a miscalculation. Serves me right. Because I was once, I was in a, I'll say it. I was once in a, I was in a pitched battle with a guy with an intellectual disability once when I was about 22. Yeah, and we were fighting. Yeah, we were in the M1, in one of the institutions, and he was trying to pull apart all the bundles. Do you know what a bundle is? It's where you bundle up all the clothes ready for the next day. And he was trying to tear them all apart, the poor bloke. And I tried to stop him. And we were in the linen room, and he grabbed a pair of jeans, and he had unbundled them. And I grabbed the other side, and he grabbed the other side, and we're pulling at each other. We were on the same terms that day. There's a fine line, between resident and staff members sometimes. Anyway, we're both, if only you had the video, we're both pulling. Give me that pair of jeans, you bastard! And he's like, I'm not fucking gonna, bloody staff member. You're no different than me, you've only just got a key. That's the only thing that separates us all. Whether you've got a key or not. I thought, I've still got the key. I stole it. When Kalula shut down, I kept 2 keys. The big ward keys, Anyway, pulling on it. We're pulling on it. And then the bastard let go. And I went crashing backwards, and it got me on the funny bone. Is that called the humerus? It's not, And now, even to this day, and it's this one, the right, and there's always something there to remind me of that bloke. You know, that's why I haven't forgotten him, because sometimes I bump it like, I remember that moment. You know? Speaking of that song, always something there to remind me. I saw a comedy once, and this woman came out heavily pregnant. You know, I think she had a pillow in there. You know, and she was dressed. You know, she had a cheap skirt on or that something. I walk along the city streets. You walk along with me. I can't remember the words to the song. Da da ba da 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 da. And I forget you, girl, 'cause and then she started with the big balloon in her tummy, you know. Oh, and something there to remind me. Just, you know what? Pregnancy. Oh, God. Hilarious. Anyway, but what I'm getting at with all of this. Oh, I remember M1, my first shift in there. A bit of time has gone by now, so I can tell you. We used to sleep on the wards, you know, at night, active night. You're supposed to be awake, minding the residents. Now this is terrible, you know, and I actually laid off someone many years later for doing exactly what I did myself. So I'm a big fat hypocrite, you know. But you know, I would have been laid off had it been against the rules at the time too. But what happened was the charge nurse, because I was young, came in, and it was my first night on active nights. And we came in, and one of those big institutions, you know, with the high rafters, you know, heritage building, you know, back in the 1800s and all that sort of stuff, you know. He said to me, welcome to M1. Medication time. And he said, there's a mattress up in the rafters. I went, oh yeah. And he said, up there, you know. And I looked up, and you could just see a bit of foam peeking out, you know. So what he was saying is, have a sleep, because, you know, when I'm on active night, he's the charge nurse, I have a sleep too. So it's very important for me, for you to have a sleep too, because we don't want any conchies coming onto the ward and not being team players, you know. And all right, I'll go to sleep. I don't care. You know, I was young, and I was partying every night anyway, and or every day, and so in the morning he came in. Anyway, so yeah, that was the code. You know, a bit of a wink there and all that sort of stuff. The mattress is up there in the rafters, which is about 1.5, 2 stories high. You know, and there's a ladder going up there. You know, it's a loft. You know, so I came in. He bye-bye charge nurse, you know, and he left, and then I'm all by myself with about 35 residents. All right, everybody, go to sleep. How you going? Blah, blah, blah. Do you want me to play a song for you on my guitar? And you know, none of them can even speak. All right, I will then. Gave them a concert, you know, sing them songs and all that sort of stuff. You know, captive audience, that's what you want when you're learning rock and roll. And so I play them a few tunes and all that sort of stuff, have a bit of fun, blah, blah, blah. You know, this is late, you know, and they all sort of seem to be drifting off to bed. Time to get some kip, you know. So I had the word. Anyway, so I went and had a sleep, which is really terrible. They were unguarded all night, the residents, you know. And in the morning, the charge nurse came in, and I was sound asleep still, which is fine. You know, it's a sweetheart deal between the charge nurse and the staff. And the charge nurse came in and said, Damien, I'll use my real name for this, you know. Damien, I have to actually swear, you know, so that you know, get the feel of the thing. Damien, where the fuck are you? Anyway, I'm up in the rafters, you know. And, you know, I picked it. Oh, hello. I'm up here. What the fuck are you doing up there? Then you told me you're supposed to bring the mattress down, you dickhead. Oh. He never trusted me again for simple, tasks. I was naive, but I became a real activist for disability rights and all that sort of stuff, This is why you can't judge someone, because I turned into a real saint, and I'm still a saint to this day. You never can tell. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, with this episode, well, this can be Skit 3 now, So play Skit 1, Skit 2 and Skit 3 to me, but not to you. It'll be of no interest to you, Skit 3 and Skit 2 and Skit 1, but play it to me when I've lost my brain, because I wanted to be reminded of a time in my life when I'd go for a jog and suddenly I would just get that surge and that feeling of being alive, and then I'd just sprint and I'd feel so good, and right for that moment you're an Olympic sprinter. And you are, in your mind. It doesn't matter whether you are or you aren't, but you think you are. And the same thing happens with thinking. Sometimes I'm just thinking of stuff. Oh, there's a nice sky with lovely clouds and all that sort of stuff. And suddenly you have ideas like I have in these 3 skits, and you're thinking and you're talking and you're talking and you're thinking. It might all be a load of crap, but there's one thing you've broken into a sprint mentally. Even if what you're saying is a load of crap, you've broken into a sprint, and you just know that all your synapses are firing, pop, 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 and you're feeling so happy and relaxed, because you can only ramble like this if you're relaxed and happy. And what you've done is mentally you've broken into a sprint. Even if you've got no brains, you're still sprinting. You don't need to be smart, to break into a mental sprint. That's what I'm saying. So play these 3 skits to me, just as an act of kindness for an old bloke, who's approaching 100, approaching his ton, and and he's not winning the battle, with Nurse Ratchet over there. And give him a fish finger. Chuck him a fish finger, will you? Still fast.